We are back with State Attorney General Josh Stein to answer your questions. Remember, you can always text us your questions. The number is at the bottom of the screen. We started off talking about Duke Energy and the coal ash spill, so we've got several follow-up text questions. This one says, what is the total cost of the Duke cleanup estimated to be?
At this point, it's estimated to be between 8 and 9 billion. Our settlement only addresses the cost from 2015 to 2030. There are another 4 or 5 billion in expenses that are anticipated to come after 2030. So we will revisit this in a decade, but we've resolved the last 2 rate cases and any future rate cases that are going to occur in the next 10 years. And that certainty is actually good for consumers, but it's also good for the companies so that they can plan and do this work accordingly.
Mm-hmm. This text question is, what exactly is the health hazard of coal ash? Also, if it just settles on the bottom and it's not stirred up, what's the big deal?
Well, the problem with coal ash, by the way, is essentially it's the residue that you get, the ash, from burning coal at a coal-fired power plant. And all this ash gets put into a big hole, a huge pit, and there are toxins, mercury, other kinds of toxins that when people drink can cause serious health problems. And the toxins will go into either the groundwater or, like what happened in the Dan River case, leach into a river, a surface water, either of which can end up in people's drinking water. And we cannot allow that. And that's why it's really critical that it get remediated, that it get cleaned up. And we've now resolved who's going to pay for that over the next 10 years. And what's excellent is coal ash is the definition of a 20th century energy problem. We need to be worrying about issues of the 21st century, like reducing carbon emissions and moving towards clean energy, renewable energy. And this will enable all of us, the consumers, the state, Duke Energy, to start focusing on that issue moving forward.
This next question says, we know that Duke Energy also owns Piedmont Natural Gas. So will Duke Energy pass on those costs to ratepayers of natural gas?
They cannot do that. Duke is a monopoly. They're a monopoly energy provider for electricity, and they're a monopoly natural gas provider. They are regulated by the Public Utilities Commission, and their rates are set because they have the ability to charge whatever they want since we need their energy. So the government regulates their rates and would not allow them to take Duke expenses and earn money at Piedmont.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to transition now because we're getting several text questions that come about with robocalls. This person says, we average 5 robocalls every day. We hear you, I know. Extended car warranty is number 1. Credit card upgrades is second. Any other call topics that are likely robocalls, and how do I get rid of them?
Yeah, we hate them. We all hate them. I had a terrible day today, and I thought that the robocallers were targeting me because just today, my office led a 35-state Attorney General coalition, bipartisan effort, along with the state of Indiana, from across the country in filing a brief to defend the law that makes robocalls illegal. The robocallers are trying to get that law thrown out. They tried earlier at the Supreme Court, and I led a 38 Attorney General coalition to defend the law there. Now they're trying, and we won, and now they're trying to weaken it again. So I'm trying to take these guys on at every front, in the courtrooms to uphold the law, in the courtrooms to enforce the law, and we have cases against them when we can identify them, and then with the telephone companies to get them to increase the protections they afford us to screen out more of these calls. And the problem is we're in a bit of a technological war where they're competing against each other to deploy new technologies. The robocallers try to make new calls using the internet. The telephone companies try to stop them. The robocallers try again. And we're going to keep at this because they're annoying, but they also cause billions of dollars of harm and fraud on vulnerable Americans.
Yeah, and they're totally annoying to all of us. Okay, so you've got No Mo Robo. We're going to put that up for folks. What does No Mo Robo do?
It's our, we have No Robo, which is a way for people to report robocalls to us, which we share with federal authorities. And we received more than 10,000 robocall complaints last year. It was the #1 complaint that we heard. And so, look, I get it. It's a top priority for my office. We have an entire unit dedicated to working on this awful, frustrating issue. So if you have a complaint, you can go to our website, No Robo, and file a complaint.
And we do have that as well, so that folks at home, you can see what it looks like to file a complaint. Really easy to do that on the website. And the question that we always get whenever we show that is, they always want to know, can I remain anonymous?
When you file a complaint with our office, you're not anonymous. It becomes a public record. So if that is a concern, don't file a complaint. You can call our office if you ever have a question. If you ever get a call and you don't know if it's legitimate, they're saying they're the Social Security Administration or the IRS, and they're federal agents who are going to come knocking on your door to arrest you unless you pay them immediately. It's very natural to get scared when you hear a message like that, but don't give in. Call my office, 877-5-NO-SCAM, and ask us, is this legitimate? And 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, it's not going to be legitimate.
Yep. And we've got that number for you as well in the Who Wants to Know section, so that you don't have to worry about writing it down. We've got it there for you. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more from the North Carolina AG.